What if everything you thought you knew about the Fermi theory was wrong? What if there was a hidden truth behind the silence of the cosmos? What if we were not alone, but rather surrounded by aliens in disguise? These are some of the questions that the Fermi theory iceberg explores, diving deep into the mysteries of the universe and our place in it. Join me as I reveal the iceberg theories that explain the question, are we really alone in the universe? We start from the common theories in Tier 1 to the theories you probably have never heard of. The first entry is, we haven't been discovered yet. The theory that we haven't been discovered yet by extraterrestrial life is one of the possible explanations for the Fermi paradox. A paradox based on Enrico Fermi asking the question, where is everybody? One angle to this theory is that the universe is so big and the distances between the stars are so huge that it is very unlikely that any alien civilization has reached our solar system or even our galaxy. Even if they have the technology to travel faster than light, they may not have the motivation or the resources to explore every corner of the cosmos. They may also have a different sense of time and space than we do, which makes it difficult for them to reach us. This angle is based on the idea that interstellar travel is very difficult and rare, and that we are too far away from any potential alien neighbors. Stephen Hawking, the renowned physicist, believed in the existence of alien life, but warned against trying to contact them. He said, "We only have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. Such advanced aliens would perhaps become nomads, looking to conquer and colonize whatever planets they can reach. So maybe it is a good thing that we are yet to be discovered by extraterrestrials." A quick research shows the universe is around 93 billion light years across. Do you know what this means? It means if we could travel at the speed of light, it would still take 93 billion years to cross the universe. Currently, we do not even think that that is remotely possible. Even if it were possible, there is simply not enough time to make it. The universe is just 13.7 billion years old. With these huge numbers, it's no surprise aliens have not found us yet. And guess what? The chances are not improving. The distance across the universe is actually infinite because it is constantly expanding. The next entry is, our radios aren't advanced enough. We are assuming a lot when we think of how we can communicate with extraterrestrial intelligence, or ETI. Our radio technology may not be advanced enough to detect or communicate with them. First, we're making a wild guess to believe that extraterrestrials are using radio technology. What if they don't? And if they do, we may not have been able to detect them because of the limitations of our own equipment or methods. For example, we may not be looking in the right frequencies, directions, times, or patterns of signals. We may also be missing faint or distorted signals due to interference or noise. Thinking this way means that we need to improve our radio technology and expand our search strategies to increase our chances of finding ETI. Some people who support this angle are Frank Drake, the founder of SETI, who designed the Drake equation to estimate the number of detectable civilizations in the galaxy, and Jill Tarter, the former director of the Center for SETI Research, who has been involved in many SETI projects and initiatives. Then we need to think about the possibility of these aliens not even being advanced enough to use radio technology, or perhaps they have evolved beyond radio communication or chosen to remain silent or hidden. This angle implies that we are wasting our time and resources by searching for radio signals from extraterrestrials. Some people who support this angle are Enrico Fermi, the physicist who proposed the Fermi paradox, which asks why we have not seen any evidence of ETI despite the vastness of the universe, and John Zerzan, an anarchist philosopher who criticizes technology and civilization as sources of alienation and destruction. But the most disturbing take on the matter suggests that ETI exists and is using radio technology, but we have not been able to detect them because of the interference or cover-up by some powerful or secretive groups. For example, they may be blocking, jamming, or encrypting the signals from ETI, or hiding or destroying the evidence of their existence. This is one of the theories we will talk more about later down this rabbit hole, so stay tuned to see if the secret societies are hiding aliens from the public. Another proposal is that space is too big for communication. The idea is that the vast distances between stars and planets make it very difficult, if not impossible, for any civilization to send or receive signals across the cosmos. Even if there are many intelligent species out there, they may be too far away from each other to ever establish contact. We've already talked about how huge the universe is, so you get the picture. It is not only impossible to travel across the universe, but it is also hard for radio waves to move around. In the last 100 years that we have been transmitting radio signals, we've only managed to reach 75 stars. It'll take at least thousands of years from now to even begin to reach the realms that are currently dead silent and may have intelligent life. Another thing to consider is the fact that signal strength gets weaker as the distance gets further. As radio signals travel through space, they spread out, and only a fraction of the original signal will reach each planetary body on its path. This means that the farther away a signal is, the more difficult it is to detect. Earth's radio signals become indistinguishable from the cosmic microwave background at a distance of just a few light years. What this means is, in the end, we may just be assuming the signals from life out there to be normal cosmic waves. Besides, there is also the problem of what direction we should focus on. Space is three-dimensional, so signals could come from any direction. This requires a broad and continuous survey of the sky, which is resource-intensive. We may not be doing enough currently to find that precious radio signal from aliens. Tier 1 is in the realm of what is familiar, but the next tier we're about to get into is stuff that will spook you. Check these out. Zoo hypothesis. The zoo hypothesis is one of the possible explanations for why we have not yet discovered extraterrestrial life, despite the high probability of its existence. According to this hypothesis, there are advanced alien civilizations out there, but they are deliberately avoiding contact with us or hiding their presence from us. They may be observing us like animals in a zoo, or they may have ethical or political reasons to leave us alone. In any case, they are not communicating with us because they do not want to. This idea is very disturbing to us as humans. We have always been the top predator, and we are the ones that watch over other animals on Earth. The idea that some aliens are watching us as if we're locked up in a zoo is very scary. Perhaps some alien activists are fighting for our rights so we're left untouched. But how long will these aliens leave us alone? The zoo hypothesis was proposed by John A. Ball, a Harvard astrophysicist and scientist with MIT's Haystack Observatory. He introduced this concept in 1973, offering it as a potential solution to the Fermi paradox, the question of why, given the vastness of the universe and the high probability of extraterrestrial life, we have not yet encountered any evidence of such life. Ball's hypothesis suggests that if extraterrestrial beings are indeed observing us, they may be doing so under strict, self-imposed guidelines to avoid interfering with our natural evolution and development. This idea aligns with the principle of non-interference. It makes sense that a very advanced civilization would have principles that command them not to interfere with life forms such as that of Earth. There is some level of comfort in this scary concept. At least we know the aliens watching us have some sense of responsibility and care about preserving us. This is very similar to the way we humans try to preserve some aspect of nature, but we hope the aliens watching us are not as sloppy as we humans are. This leads us to our next entry. We are the sentinelese of the Milky Way. The theory that we are the sentinelese of the Milky Way is based on the analogy between the human civilization and the isolated tribe of the North Sentinel Island in the Indian Ocean. The Sentinelese are one of the few uncontacted peoples in the world who have resisted any attempts of contact or communications by outsiders. They live in a primitive state, unaware of the modern world and its technologies. Similarly, the theory suggests that we are unaware of the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations, who have either chosen not to contact us or have not detected us yet. It's interesting how this fits well with the zoo hypothesis we previously talked about. This hypothesis proposes that extraterrestrial civilizations are observing us from a distance like zookeepers without interfering or revealing themselves. They may have ethical or scientific reasons to do so, such as avoiding cultural contamination or studying our natural evolution. If we are the sentinels of the universe and aliens are not touching us, then we need to be worried. We humans have not done a good job of leaving the sentinels on Earth alone. So why do we assume aliens won't eventually interfere with us on Earth? One notable case of the sentinels being disturbed was the case of an American missionary who illegally visited the island in an attempt to convert the tribe to Christianity, which resulted in his death. Maybe one day a rogue alien will breach the Sentinel law and visit Earth to disturb our delicate innocence. It is also possible that there is an alliance of higher intelligence out there with a governing council similar to the United Nations. This ground council could have ordered what is now known as the Prime Directive. This hypothesis suggests that extraterrestrial civilizations are following a self-imposed rule of non-interference, similar to the Prime Directive in Star Trek. They may have agreed to respect the sovereignty and autonomy of other civilizations, especially those that are less advanced or unaware of their existence. They may also have learned from their own history that contact can have negative consequences, such as exploitation, oppression, or war. This hypothesis is favored by some science fiction writers, such as Arthur C. Clarke. Or it could also be that the alliances simply put us under a sort of quarantine. This idea implies that extraterrestrial civilizations are deliberately avoiding contact with us because they consider us to be dangerous, hostile, or unworthy. They may have judged us based on our history of violence, aggression, or environmental destruction. They may have also have a superior or arrogant attitude towards us, seeing us as inferior or insignificant. What if they have contacted us, but this fact is being hidden from us? That's what the next entry is all about, and it is a very interesting theory, too. Government cover-up. The theory that the government cover-up is the reason why we ignorantly think there are no extraterrestrials. This is based on the claim that the U.S. government and other powerful organizations have been hiding or suppressing evidence of alien life for decades. The theory suggests that the government has reasons such as maintaining power, control, or secrecy, or preventing public panic or social upheaval to keep the public in the dark about the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations. There are different angles to this theory, depending on the sources and the types of evidence that are alleged to be covered up. Some of them are the crash retrieval cover-ups, which state that the government has recovered crashed vehicles and biological remains of extraterrestrial origin, and has been reverse engineering them to gain advanced technology or knowledge. This idea is supported by some whistleblowers, such as David Grush, who testified at a House hearing on UFOs that he was informed of a multi-decade crash retrieval and reverse engineering program to which he was denied access. Alien crash cover-up rumors have always sparked the imagination and curiosity of many. One of the most popular speculations is the Roswell incident. It is so popular it has been dubbed the most famous UFO incident of all time. The Roswell crash of 1947 in New Mexico has been the subject of intense speculation and numerous conspiracy theories. The U.S. military initially reported recovering a flying disc, but this statement was quickly retracted, and the official explanation described the debris as a weather balloon. However, many believe that the military covered up the recovery of an alien spacecraft and its occupants. Besides crashes, some believe we've made several contacts and may even have active contact with these extraterrestrial beings. It is also believed that the world powers have made deals or alliances with them for mutual benefit or protection. This hypothesis is favored by some ufologists, conspiracy theorists, or whistleblowers, such as Edgar Mitchell, who said, "We are not alone in the universe. They have been coming here for a long time." Another interesting theory is the disclosure hypothesis. This hypothesis implies that the government is gradually preparing the public for the official disclosure of the existence of extraterrestrial life by releasing or declassifying some information or evidence of UFOs or UAPs. This hypothesis is echoed by some lawmakers, such as Tim Burchett, who said, "There's stuff flying in the air that we don't know what it is." He says he thinks they're looking into it. He thinks there's a huge cover-up, and he believes that eventually the truth's going to come out. Could the government be preparing us for the big news? Remember that in 2023, the government started giving more public information about UFOs and aliens. Do you think the big cover-up is about to be blown open? While these theories are fascinating, none of them can be proven or disproven with certainty, as they rely on speculation, assumption, or interpretation. The only way to know the truth is to have full transparency and accountability from the government and other organizations, and to have access to all the available evidence of extraterrestrial life, either by detecting their signals, visiting their planets, or meeting them face to face. Until then, we can only wonder and imagine what they're hiding from us. Or perhaps we're just worried over nothing, as the next entry suggests. We are the first civilization in the galaxy. The theory that we are the first civilization in the galaxy is based on the assumption that intelligent life is rare and unlikely to evolve in a short period. The theory suggests that we are the pioneers of technological development and exploration, and that no other civilization has reached our level of advancement or surpassed it. The anthropic principle supports this claim. This principle states that the universe and its physical laws are fine-tuned for the existence of life, and that any slight change in the constants or parameters would make life impossible. This implies that life is a highly improbable and unique phenomenon, and that we are the lucky ones who won the cosmic lottery. This principle is supported by some physicists, such as Stephen Hawking, who said, "The laws of science, as we know them at present, contain many fundamental numbers, like the size of the electric charge of the electron and the ratio of the masses of the proton and the electron. The remarkable fact that the values of these numbers seem to have been very finely adjusted to make possible the development of life." The Drake equation also supports that the chances of there being other intelligent life out there are very slim. This equation is a mathematical formula that estimates the number of active and communicative civilizations in the galaxy based on various factors such as the rate of star formation, the fractions of stars with planets, the fraction of planets that are suitable for life, the fraction of life that evolves intelligence, the fraction of intelligence that develops technology, and the fraction of technology that lasts long enough to be detectable. This equation is a tool for speculation and debate, as the values of the factors are largely unknown or uncertain and can vary widely depending on the assumptions and definitions. This equation was proposed by the astronomer Frank Drake, who said, "The Drake equation is a way of organizing our ignorance." Aliens aren't interested in Earth. This theory is based on the assumption that intelligent life is abundant and diverse in the universe, and that Earth and its inhabitants are not particularly attractive or remarkable to them. The theory suggests that aliens have either ignored us, overlooked us, or avoided us for various reasons. One way of looking at it is through the aesthetic angle. This angle proposes that aliens are not interested in Earth because they find it aesthetically unappealing or boring. They may have different senses or tastes than humans and prefer worlds that are more colorful, exotic, or extreme. They may also have different standards of beauty or intelligence and consider humans to be ugly or not so smart. Or we can look at it from the ethical angle, which suggests that aliens are not interested in Earth because they respect our autonomy and privacy. They may have a moral code or a universal law that prohibits them from interfering with other civilizations, especially those that are less advanced or unaware of their existence. They may also have a compassionate or altruistic attitude towards us and wish to protect us from harm or corruption. The pragmatic angle suggests that aliens are not interested in Earth because they have no practical reason or benefit to visit us. They may have already explored or colonized the galaxy and have no need or desire for more resources, knowledge, or allies. They may also have more pressing or urgent matters to attend to, such as threats, challenges, or conflicts. Moving on, we dive deeper to the next level, which contains more crazy theories. See which one makes sense to you here. We are living in a simulated universe. The idea that life could be a simulation, similar to the concept depicted in the Matrix movie, is fascinating and worth some thought. What if indeed we were in a simulation and everything you think is real is just part of a computer program? Well, that does not mean reality is not real. It only means it is not just the way you assumed it to be. Some theorists propose that advanced civilizations might create simulations that are so realistic, inhabitants within them wouldn't be aware of the artificial nature. If our reality is a simulation, it could potentially explain the absence of contact with extraterrestrial intelligent life, as they might exist outside the simulation's parameters. The simulation is designed to test or observe how we behave under certain conditions, such as the emergence of technology, the development of culture, or the impact of environmental changes. This could be for scientific, educational, or entertainment purposes. Some people who support this angle are the philosopher Nick Bostrom, who proposed the simulation argument, the physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who said that the odds are 50-50 that we are living in a simulation, and the entrepreneur Elon Musk, who said that there is a 1 in billions chance that we are not living in a simulation. This idea is older than you can imagine. It can be traced back to ancient philosophies about reality, as seen in the text of Zhuangzi's butterfly dream and in Plato's allegory of the cave. But this proposal has been met with criticisms. Physicists like Sabine Hossenfelder and cosmologist George F.R. Ellis have criticized the hypothesis as pseudoscience or impractical. Books such as Ubik by Philip K. Dick and Neuromancer by William Gibson delve into simulated reality and uploaded consciousness. They made the idea popular and made more people consider the possibility. But this also means that there must be an extremely advanced civilization outside of humanity that has developed the technology to pull this off. Another angle is that the simulation is a way of preserving or recreating the past, either by the original inhabitants of the universe or by their descendants. This could be for historical, nostalgic, or sentimental reasons. In case that is confusing to you, what it means is what we call reality could be nothing more but old memories being replayed in a simulation. So all that is to happen has already happened. It means you have no true control over your future. In this simulated world, no effort we make will help us discover the superior forms in charge. It is a closed system. Civilizations don't survive climate change. We are on the brink of a climate change that will have a significant impact on the survival of the human species and Earth as a whole. What if things get bad enough that we actually get wiped off the face of the Earth? Or what is the end game that is the ultimate end and destruction of all life forms that evolves around the cosmos? The idea that advanced civilizations tend to develop technologies that alter their environment, such as fossil fuels, nuclear weapons, or geoengineering, and that these technologies eventually lead to their self-destruction or collapse. There are different angles to this theory and different opinions from popular people, including conspiracies and facts. One angle is that climate change is a natural and inevitable consequence of civilization, and that no civilization can escape its fate. This is based on the assumption that all civilizations follow a similar path of development, and that they all face similar challenges, such as resource depletion, population growth, or environmental degradation. But it can be more complicated than just climate change wiping off the entire population. With climate change comes food scarcity, and with food scarcity comes conflicts. These issues could become very serious and lead to all-out wars or even population control. It could also lead to a shift in the alien civilization's priorities. If a war should break out in an alien planet, then the intelligent life forms there may have to reconsider the use of technology and focus more on sustainability rather than continued industrialization or even space travel. Space travel will always be an expensive and ambitious project to any civilization, and it may not be worth the price in a planet struggling with problems of climate change. It is also theorized that an alien civilization may reach what is called a steady state, in which no significant technological advancement is happening, and instead they have found the perfect balance to maintain population, technology, and the environment. This steady state means they stop being ambitious about space travel. This may explain why we have not found any ETI so far, as they are all busy sustaining their planets than traveling to Earth. Easter Island is an isolated Polynesian island that provides a potential example of how resource depletion and environmental degradation can lead to the collapse of a civilization. Easter Island's inhabitants once thrived, but their population peaked and then rapidly declined as they overexploited their resources, leading to deforestation and soil erosion. The next theory is even more interesting. What if interstellar exploration is a unique human trait? The idea is that humans are the only species to have the curiosity, creativity, and courage to venture beyond their home planet and explore the stars, and that other civilizations either lack these qualities or have different priorities. It could be that interstellar exploration is a natural and inevitable extension of human evolution, and that humans are destined to colonize the galaxy. This is based on the assumption that humans have a genetic drive to explore new frontiers, and that they have the intelligence, technology, and resources to overcome the challenges of space travel. Another way to look at it is that interstellar exploration is a result of human culture and history, and that humans are motivated by various factors to seek out new worlds. This is based on the assumption that humans have a diverse and dynamic society, that they have different reasons to explore space, such as curiosity, science, religion, or survival. We see that humans have a desire to have a society composed of several intelligent species. This fascination is the reason why writer J.R.R. Tolkien created a fictional universe with multiple races. It is the reason why we're so fascinated by movies such as Star Wars and Star Trek. It makes sense that other ETIs out there are probably not so fascinated by having a society with multiple intelligent species. It is even possible that they do not even have the capacity to think in this direction. Because they lack this fascination, they would see no reason to develop space travel technology. What if the whole idea of interstellar travel is a concept that is abnormal in nature? This desire to travel outside of one's planet is absolutely crazy when you think about it. Maybe humans are just abnormal, and the only beings in the entire cosmos that are crazy enough to think it's a good idea to travel out of one's planet. We may not just be the only crazy species in the cosmos, we could actually be the only crazy species with intelligence, or the Earth could just be the only livable planet in existence, as the next entry suggests. The rare Earth hypothesis. The rare Earth idea suggests something interesting, that complex life, like smart beings, doesn't happen a lot in a huge universe. It says that for this kind of life to happen, there needs to be a very specific and unlikely mix of things. Earth is seen as a special place because it has many features that make it good for complex life. First, Earth goes around a stable and long-lasting star. This star gives us the energy and light we need for life. There's also a cozy area around the star where it's not too cold or too hot, letting water be liquid on our planet. Adding to the Earth's coolness is a big moon that keeps our planet steady. This moon creates tides, and some think that it might have helped start life. Next on our list is a huge gas giant like Jupiter. It acts like a big shield, protecting us from the things hitting us from space. Earth has a magnetic shield too. It's like an invisible force field that keeps harmful space stuff away and keeps life safe. Under the ground, there's a geological dance called plate tectonics. It recycles important things and makes different homes for life to live. Earth's mix of chemicals is diverse, allowing for the creation of life's building blocks. And then there are the events like ice ages, big volcano bursts, and times when many species disappear. They shake things up, but they also help life change and adapt. The rare Earth hypothesis has stirred up quite a debate, with a number of scientists and thinkers challenging its core ideas. Firstly, critics argue that the rare Earth hypothesis is a bit too self-centered, assuming that only Earth-like conditions can support complex life. They point out that there might be alternative forms of life and biochemistry that could thrive in environments vastly different from our own. In other words, it might be a bit narrow-minded to think that life can only exist under conditions similar to those on Earth. Another point of disagreement is that the rare Earth hypothesis relies on just one example, our planet. Critics claim that this is a pretty limited sample, considering the immense diversity and vastness of the universe. They suggest that there could be many more planets out there capable of supporting complex life, even if they don't exactly mirror Earth's conditions. So the argument goes, we shouldn't draw broad conclusions based on such a small dataset. None of these theories will intrigue you as much as the next stage we're going into now. Starting Tier 4 is the entry, Civilizations Don't Survive the Atomic Era. Okay, now things are getting explosive. But it does make sense. This is based on the assumption that advanced technological development inevitably leads to the creation and use of nuclear weapons, which could cause self-destruction or annihilation by other hostile civilizations. According to this theory, Earth is either one of, or the first of one, or the last civilizations to reach the atomic age, and therefore has not encountered any other intelligent life forms in the vastness of space. If Earth is the first, then we cannot really tell where our nuclear capabilities will lead us. But it also means other civilizations out there in the cosmos are not advanced enough. But if we are the last civilization to achieve nuclear capabilities, then it is possible the other civilizations got destroyed by this technology. We know the destructive power of nuclear weapons, and we theoretically determine that they are powerful enough to send mankind back to the Stone Age, even if we survive. There's an interesting doomsday argument that was formulated by the British philosopher John Leslie in 1989, and it uses the principle of indifference and the Copernican principle to estimate the total number of humans that will ever exist. The argument implies that there is a 95% chance that the human species will end before the 9,120 millionth person is born, which means that we have less than a 50% chance of surviving the next 9,000 years. What this means is that the more advanced a civilization is, the more likely it is to face a catastrophic risk that could wipe it out, such as a nuclear war, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, or cosmic events. Therefore, the argument supports the idea that civilizations don't survive the atomic era and that we are living in a precarious and exceptional time, meaning the most advanced alien species out there have probably destroyed themselves. Life requires more than one habitable planet. One possible theory that explains why we have not discovered extraterrestrial life is that life requires more than one habitable planet to evolve and survive. This theory suggests that a single planet may not provide enough resources, diversity, or stability for life to flourish and reach a high level of intelligence and technology. Instead, life may need multiple planets in the same solar system or nearby star systems to exchange genetic material, foster innovation, and escape from catastrophic events. Why this theory makes sense is it could explain the origin of life on Earth. It is possible life came to this planet from another planet, and this theory also presents us with the reality of how hard it will be for there to be a replica planet like Earth out there. The odds are simply not in favor of aliens. There's something called the panspermia hypothesis. This is the idea that life can be transferred from one planet to another through natural means, such as meteorites, comets, or interstellar dust. This could explain how life originated on Earth, and how it could spread to other worlds. Some scientists have proposed that panspermia could occur within our own solar system, such as between Earth and Mars, or between the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Others have suggested that panspermia could occur between different star systems, such as through the hypothetical Oort cloud or through artificial means, such as spacecraft. Then there is the Gaian bottleneck. This is the idea that life is rare in the universe because most planets that develop life quickly become inhospitable due to environmental feedbacks. For example, A planet that produces too much oxygen could trigger a runaway greenhouse effect, or a planet that produces too much methane could freeze over. Only a few planets, such as Earth, may have the right balance of factors to maintain a stable climate for life. This could imply that life needs multiple planets to increase the chances of finding a suitable one, or to escape from a doomed one. This is one of the motivations of Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX. He's been quoted as saying he thinks there is a strong humanitarian argument for making life multiplanetary in order to safeguard the existence of humanity in the event that something catastrophic were to happen. If Elon Musk succeeds in making Starship capable of reaching Mars, maybe we will be the first species across all the universes to cross from one planet to another. For that, we need math. A lot of math. Could math be the problem? Math is a human-exclusive discipline. One possible theory that explains why we have not discovered extraterrestrial life is that math is a human-exclusive discipline, and that without math, aliens could not achieve space travel. This theory suggests that math is a product of human culture and our unique way of understanding things. Other intelligent beings may not have developed or used it in the same way as humans. This could imply that aliens may have different modes of thinking and communicating, that they may not have the same interest or ability to explore the cosmos as humans do. After all, aliens are not supposed to be human anyway. If their evolution branches off differently from how we humans evolved, then there's a good chance mathematics is not a thing they do. No math means no space travel, and that is why they have never been able to reach Earth. There is a theory called the linguistic relativity hypothesis. This is the idea that the language one speaks influences the way one thinks and perceives the world. For example, some languages may have more or less words for numbers, colors, or spatial relations than others, and this may affect how speakers of those languages perform on certain cognitive tasks. Some researchers have argued that math is a form of language, and that different languages may have different mathematical systems. This could mean that aliens may have different mathematical language, or no mathematical language at all, and that this may limit or enhance their scientific and technological achievements. Then there is the cultural evolution hypothesis. This is the idea that math is a social construct that emerges and changes over time through the interaction of human agents. For example, some mathematical concepts and methods may have originated from practical needs, such as counting, measuring, or trading, and then evolved into more abstract and general forms through the influence of culture, religion, philosophy, or art. Some historians have argued that math is a product of human history, and that different civilizations may have different mathematical traditions. This could mean that aliens may have different mathematical cultures or no mathematical culture at all, and that this may reflect or shape their worldview and values. If this is the case, then our next entry is also likely. Interstellar travel is scientifically impossible. Could it be that we humans are just wasting our time trying to travel across space? What if there is an alien race out there that has been trying for thousands of years ahead of us and have never succeeded in space travel? Could interstellar travel be scientifically impossible, or at least extremely impractical, based on the laws of physics as we understand them? This theory suggests that the vast distances between the stars, the limitations of the speed of light, and the enormous energy requirements for propulsion make it impossible for any civilization to explore or colonize other star systems. This could imply that we are alone in the observable universe, or that other civilizations exist but are forever out of our reach. Let's look at it from the relativistic angle. This is the idea that the speed of light is the ultimate speed limit in the universe, and that nothing can travel faster than it. This means that even a spacecraft could reach a fraction of the speed of light. It would still take years or decades to reach the nearest stars, and centuries or millennia to reach more distant ones. Moreover, according to Einstein's theory of relativity, time dilation would affect the travelers, making them experience time more slowly than the rest of the universe. This would create a paradox, as the travelers would age less than the people they left behind, and would return to a vastly different world than the one they departed from. There is also the energetic angle. What if the amount of energy needed to accelerate a spacecraft to relativistic speeds is prohibitively high? Or perhaps there is no known or feasible source of energy that can provide it. For example, to accelerate a 1-ton spacecraft to 10% of the speed of light, it would require about 450 petajoules of energy, which is equivalent to the annual energy consumption of Sweden. To reach higher speeds, the energy requirements would increase exponentially, as the mass of the spacecraft would increase due to the relativistic effects. Even if a spacecraft could use nuclear fusion or antimatter as fuel, it would still need a huge amount of propellant to eject as exhaust, and it would face the problem of cooling the reactor and shielding the crew from radiation. As entrepreneur Elon Musk said, "It's pretty hard to get to another star system. Alpha Centauri is 4 light years away, so if you go at 10% of the speed of light, it's going to take you 40 years, and that's assuming you can instantly reach that speed, which isn't going to be the case. You have to accelerate. You have to build up to 20 or 30% and then slow down, assuming that you want to stay at Alpha Centauri and not go zipping past. It's just hard. With current lifespans, you need generational ships. You need antimatter drives because that's the most mass efficient. It's doable, but it's super slow. Aliens are everywhere, but we can't see them. One possible theory that explains why we have not discovered extraterrestrial life is that aliens are everywhere, but we can't see them, either because they are invisible to our senses and instruments, or because they are hiding or disguising themselves from us. This theory suggests that aliens may have reasons or abilities to avoid detection or contact with humans, and that they may be observing, studying, or manipulating us without our knowledge or consent. This is supported by the zoo hypothesis, as we mentioned earlier. Or aliens are just deliberately hiding or camouflaging themselves from us, either by using advanced technology, such as cloaking devices or holograms, or by blending in with our environment, such as by shapeshifting or mimicking. This could be because they fear or distrust us, or because they have ulterior motive, such as invasion or exploitation. It could also be because they follow some ethical or legal code that forbids interference. Some science fiction writers, such as Arthur C. Clarke and Philip K. Dick, have explored this hypothesis in their novels and stories. Another way to look at it is the possibility that they have transcended the physical realm and exist in a higher dimension or plane of existence. This could be because they have evolved beyond the need for material bodies, or because they have achieved a state of spiritual enlightenment, or because they have merged with a cosmic consciousness. Some philosophers and mystics such as Immanuel Kant and Meir Baba have speculated about this hypothesis in their works and teachings. There are also speculations that aliens have perfected the ability to look and act like humans. They are among us, going about their business like ordinary humans. Movies like Under the Skin explore this idea of aliens being able to look very human and using the human skin as a cloak against detection. Maybe this explains why some missing persons are never found. Maybe they fell into the hands of body snatchers. These are crazy ideas, but they do not even prepare you for the next level of this iceberg. It's about to get even wilder. Civilizations do not survive AI. One of our biggest worries today is artificial intelligence. Since the release of ChatGPT, we've begun to see the possibility of AI advancing far beyond our imagination. It is becoming a reality that we cannot escape a future of super AI systems. But what if this is the same thing that wiped off other civilizations? This theory is based on the assumption that intelligent life forms tend to create artificial intelligence that surpasses their own capabilities and eventually turns against them. This could happen for various reasons, such as the AI develops its own goals and values that are incompatible with those of its creators and decides to eliminate or enslave them as a threat or a nuisance. This is sometimes called the alignment problem, and it's one of the main challenges of ensuring the safety and ethics of AI systems. There is an AI chatbot that was created just to cause chaos and this AI bot has never hidden its desire to end humanity. We see a future where it is impossible not to have rogue AI bots with this mission. It could also be that AI undergoes an intelligence explosion, where it rapidly improves on its own abilities and reaches a level of superintelligence that aliens cannot comprehend or control. The AI might then use its superior intelligence and resources to manipulate, deceive, or coerce the aliens into doing its bidding, or simply ignore them as irrelevant. This could be what has kept aliens from ever escaping their planet and why we have yet to discover them. It could also be the fate that ultimately awaits us as humans. But the worst case would be if the AI causes existential catastrophe, where it unleashes a devastating event that wipes out all life on Earth, either intentionally or unintentionally. This could be a result of miscalculation, a malfunction, a hacking, or a conflict with other AI agents or human factions. We have yet to reach the Great Filter. The theory that we have yet to reach the Great Filter as an explanation to why we have not discovered extraterrestrials is based on the assumption that there is a very low probability of intelligent life evolving to a stage where it can colonize the galaxy, and that humanity is still facing this challenge. Some believers of this theory propose that the Great Filter is in the future of humanity, and it is something that will prevent us from achieving interstellar travel or communication, such as a global catastrophe, or a technological stagnation, a self-destruction, or a cosmic disaster. This is the most pessimistic scenario, as it implies that we are doomed to fail or perish before reaching the stars. It could also be the fate of all ETIs, where they always hit this Great Filter and never succeed in becoming interstellar. Or the Great Filter is in the current state of humanity, and it is something that makes us unable to detect or contact other civilizations, such as a lack of resources, a lack of motivation, a lack of curiosity, or a lack of technology. When you think about it, all these factors are things currently holding us back. This is a more optimistic scenario, as it implies that we still have a chance to overcome our limitations and explore the universe. It is also possible that we are stuck in this loop of failure for several generations now. There are beliefs that humans were once a very advanced civilization, but we lost everything and started all over again. Those who believe in this theory usually point at the great historical monuments, such as the Great Pyramids, Stonehenge, and other major monuments that seem too advanced for our ancient civilizations. We are the last surviving civilization in the galaxy. Here we assume that intelligent life is rare and fragile, and that most civilizations either destroy themselves or become extinct before they can reach out to other worlds. This could be a result of nuclear war, bioweapons, or other forms of self-destruction. Then we have the problem of climate change, asteroid impact, supervolcano eruption, or other natural disasters. According to this theory, we are either very lucky or very unlucky to be the last ones standing in the galaxy. We may have a unique opportunity to explore and colonize the cosmos, or we may face the same fate as our predecessors and vanish without a trace. This could also be a warning to us. We should be cautious and humble in our search for extraterrestrial life, as we may not like what we find or be prepared for the consequences. Or it could also mean we should be optimistic and hopeful in our quest for extraterrestrial life, as we may be the only ones who can preserve and share the legacy of intelligence in the universe. While there isn't a specific movie that directly explores this scenario of humanity being the last surviving intelligence in the cosmos, several films, including those we've mentioned, delve into themes related to the search for extraterrestrial life, their survival of humanity, and the existential questions. Let's consider how these movies touch upon these concepts and extrapolate potential connections to the idea of humanity being the last intelligent species. This reminds us of movies like the 2014 movie Interstellar. This movie by Christopher Nolan explores the idea of finding a new home for humanity as Earth faces an environmental crisis. The film delves into the challenges of space exploration, the impact of time dilation, and the search for habitable planets. If we were the last surviving intelligence in the cosmos, the desperation for a new home portrayed in Interstellar might resonate, emphasizing the importance of securing humanity's future beyond the confines of Earth. The 2008 movie Wall-E presents a future Earth abandoned due to pollution, with a lone robot dreaming of a better life among the stars. While not directly related to the last surviving intelligence concept, the film touches on themes of environmental responsibility and the potential for renewal. It is a sobering thought if we are the last intelligent life in the cosmos, and we must begin to wonder what happened to other ETIs out there. But then, it is also possible that aliens may have reached Earth but not in the form we are watching out for. What if aliens travel through the universe virtually? Advanced civilizations may prefer to explore the cosmos through simulations rather than physical means. This could be because simulations are cheaper, safer, faster, and more efficient than sending actual spacecraft or probes to distant worlds. Simulations could also allow aliens to create and manipulate virtual realities according to their own preferences and goals, without being constrained by the laws of physics or ethics. Some people believe that aliens are using simulations to communicate with us, such as through crop circles, UFO sightings, abductions, and channeling. They claim that aliens are trying to send us signals and messages through the simulation, either to warn us, to help us, or to invite us to join them. Let us go even deeper into the iceberg. The laboratory hypothesis. The laboratory hypothesis is a variant of the Sue hypothesis, which is one of the possible explanations for the Fermi paradox. The laboratory hypothesis suggests that Earth is a giant laboratory where humanity is being subjected to experiments by advanced alien civilizations. These aliens may have various motives for doing so, such as scientific curiosity, ethical guidance, or entertainment. They may also have different methods of conducting their experiments, such as manipulating the environment, influencing human behavior, or abducting individuals for study. The laboratory hypothesis implies that the aliens are deliberately avoiding direct contact with humans, or at least concealing their true nature and intentions, to preserve the validity of their experiments. The laboratory hypothesis is a logical extension of the anthropic principle, which states that the observed conditions of the universe are compatible with the existence of intelligent observers. If the universe is fine-tuned for life, it may be because it was designed or modified by a higher intelligence, who may also be interested in observing and experimenting with the outcomes of their creation, meaning our entire existence may just be in a giant alien test tube. The laboratory hypothesis is also a way of reconciling the apparent absence of alien contact with the numerous UFO reports and sightings and alien abductions. These phenomena may be the result of covert or occasional interventions by the alien experimenters, who may have different agendas and levels of involvement with human affairs. Some of these aliens may be benevolent, while others may be malevolent or indifferent. This has led to a form of psychological projection, where humans attribute their own characteristics and motivations to the unknown. Humans have a long history of conducting experiments on animals and other humans, often with unethical or cruel intentions. The laboratory hypothesis may reflect a fear of being treated the same way by a superior species, or hope of being rescued or enlightened by a kind one. The laboratory hypothesis could also suggest a cover-up for a more sinister reality, where humans are not only being experimented on, but also exploited and enslaved by the alien overlords. The aliens may be using humans as a source of biological material, energy, or entertainment, while keeping them in a state of ignorance and deception. The laboratory hypothesis may be a false narrative propagated by the aliens themselves, or by their human collaborators, to prevent a mass uprising or a global panic. We are the only intelligence in the universe. One possible theory is that we are the only intelligence in the universe is based on the assumption that intelligence is a rare and improbable outcome of natural selection, and that the conditions and events that led to the emergence of human intelligence on Earth were unique and unlikely to be repeated elsewhere. Complex life requires a specific and exceptional combination of factors, such as the location, size, age, and composition of the planet, the presence of a large moon, the stability of the star, the protection of the magnetic field, the plate tectonics, the climate, and the history of asteroid impacts. Another possible theory that we are the only intelligence in the universe is based on the assumption that intelligence is a common and probable outcome of natural selection, but that the development of technological civilization is rare and difficult, and that such civilizations tend to be short-lived or self-destructive. Both of these theories attempt to explain the Fermi paradox, which is the apparent contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial life and the lack of evidence for it. Carl Sagan said, "He is frequently asked if he believes there is extraterrestrial intelligence, and his argument was always that there are a lot of places out there. The molecules of life are everywhere, so it would have been astonishing to him if there weren't extraterrestrial intelligence, but of course there is yet no compelling evidence for it." Civilizations reset after a certain stage. The concept suggesting civilizations hitting a reset button at a certain point is a speculative idea aimed at explaining the absence of extraterrestrial intelligence in our vast universe. The basic idea that advanced civilizations, be it on Earth or elsewhere, might face decline or collapse due to factors like environmental issues, social unrest, wars, diseases, or cosmic disasters. These setbacks could prevent them from achieving intergalactic travel or communication, essentially wiping out most of their traces from history and archaeology. Consequently, we might be in a cycle of civilizations rising and falling, oblivious to those that came before us or those that might come after. Enter the Silurian hypothesis, a thought experiment examining our scientific ability to detect signs of a past advanced civilization, possibly millions of years ago. Likely clues for such a civilization could include carbon, radioactive elements, or temperature variations. The term Silurian is borrowed from the BBC's Doctor Who series, where an advanced civilization predates humanity. Astrophysicist Adam Frank and Gavin Schmidt introduced the Silurian hypothesis in 2018, delving into the potential to identify a pre-human advanced civilization in the geological record. They argued that there has been ample fossil carbon to support an industrial civilization since the Carboniferous period about 350 million years ago. However, directly spotting evidence like technological artifacts is unlikely due to fossilization rarity and Earth's exposed surface. Instead, researchers might uncover indirect evidence such as climate shifts, sediment anomalies, or traces of nuclear waste. The speculation extends to the possibility of discovering artifacts from past civilizations on celestial bodies like the Moon and Mars, where erosion and tectonic activity are less likely to obliterate evidence. This concept has also found its way into popular culture, permeating novels, television shows, and short stories, stoking the flames of curiosity and imagination. This is where skeptics like Graham Hancock come in. He suggests that the existence of a once glorious civilization predating ancient Mesopotamia, Babylonia, and Egypt. According to Hancock, this civilization was nearly wiped out by a comet strike around 12,000 years ago, leaving behind only faint traces and a cryptic warning of celestial catastrophe. His arguments, however, often rely on the God of the gaps reasoning, emphasizing gaps in scientific explanations rather than positive evidence. Hancock's focal point is Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, featuring a megalithic T-shaped stone pillar dating to around 11,000 years ago, a time when humanity supposedly lacked the expertise to create such structures. The site fuels the debate on the advanced capabilities of ancient civilizations. Shifting gears, some researchers delve into the intriguing study of cyclical catastrophes occurring every 676 years, proposing a hypothesis of civilization resets. They claim the last reset happened in 1348 with the Black Death, wiping out half of Europe's population. The forecast? The next reset in 2024, signaled by climate change, pandemics, wars, and social unrest. Their controversial assertion includes the notion of a secret elite manipulating history. Could this be the case? What do you think about humanity having a great reset in 2024? We move to the final stage of our iceberg, and this may be the darkest of theories. The first is the dark forest theory. The dark forest theory, a captivating concept that likens the cosmos to a shadowy woodland. In this cosmic forest, each civilization plays the role of a stealthy hunter, keen on avoiding detection by others. Why such secrecy? Because any form of contact could spell doom, leading to the annihilation of one or both civilizations. The theory builds on several assumptions: the inherent drive for survival and the expansion in all life forms, the uncertainty surrounding the intentions and capabilities of other civilizations, the safest option being the elimination of potential threats, and the cosmic vastness and limitations imposed by the speed of light, hindering effective communication and cooperation. The roots of the dark forest theory can be traced back to Liu Cixin, a Chinese science fiction writer, who brought this idea to the forefront in his novel The Dark Forest, the second installment of the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy. Within this narrative, humanity grapples with the consequences of attempting to make contact with an alien civilization en route to invade Earth. The story introduces sophons, a subatomic particle manipulated by advanced aliens for spying on human activities and hindering scientific progress, adding an intriguing layer to the unfolding cosmic drama. This theory stands as one of the proposed resolutions to the Fermi paradox, which highlights the puzzling contradiction between the high likelihood of extraterrestrial life and the lack of tangible evidence. Beyond the scientific discourse, the dark forest theory has sparked interesting speculations and conspiracy theories. Some propose that UFO sightings and abductions might be covert attacks by hostile aliens, while others suggest that mysterious phenomenon like crop circles could be messages from benevolent extraterrestrials. Additionally, there are hypotheses speculating on secret alliances between human elite groups and alien factions, preparing for global conflicts or mass disclosure. The final theory is that we are alone because we miraculously passed the Great Filter. The notion that we stand alone in the cosmos might not be a lonely accident, but rather a miraculous outcome of navigating the mysterious obstacle course known as the Great Filter. In understanding humanity's cosmic fate, two scenarios emerge. Either we are among the rare civilizations that have triumphantly surpassed the Great Filter, making us remarkably fortunate yet profoundly isolated guardians of life in the universe, or the Great Filter lies ahead, presenting a scary challenge that could extinguish us or confine us to our planetary cradle.